Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, dear students, and welcome to our science class. Today is Sunday, and the date is 21 of February 2021. Today we're learning about fossils. And what are fossils? As you told me now, they are the remains of what? Again, tell me.
Animal.
Animals. Excellent. What else? Only animals?
No,
Maybe
dinosaurs.
humans.
Dinosaurs. Very good. Huh. What else?
Maybe humans.
Humans. Yes, it can be humans. And plants.
Humans?
Yes, humans. Also plants. Because they are, yes, they are the remain of non-living things that don't live anymore. They are living things, but they are not living anymore. So it is the remain of them. Let's see. What do we have here? Gonna widen the page. All right. Over here, page 454, 455, I want you to take a look only at the pictures. Look at the pictures over here. The first picture, this is an ant. It's an insect, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, this is a fossil. How it is a fossil? It was
Because
trapped
animals
where?
are living things.
Who can tell
It
me?
was
In
something.
a tree sap.
Excellent. It was trapped in this tree sap. After that, what happens to it?
It got stuck and then it died.
It got hard. Excellent.
And then it
When it
died.
hardens, we call it amber. So it hardened, sap is called amber. When it was trapped in the sap and then hardens, we call it amber. This insect, parts are, the whole things are there. See? The whole thing is there. Nothing is missing. So the whole insect is trapped in what? Amber. When I tell you that the insect can get trapped in a tree sap, what do I call it? What do you call it?
Amber.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. We call it
Amber.
amber. And you can underline the word amber over here. Now, what about this baby elephant? Oh, poor baby elephant. Looks so cute. Sometimes what? The whole organism can be what? Preserved as fossil. Yes, yeah, Feroz, what did you say?
My camera keeps closing itself.
Oh, really?
I see.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that.
Oh my God.
Okay, I loved your faces when it's there. I love to see your faces when I explain, and I love to see the expressions on your face. But if you don't want to, it's all right. Now let's complete over here, Feroz. Take a look at the whole thing, the whole baby, the whole organism. It can be preserved as what? As a fossil too. This baby mammoth was frozen in ice. See? It wasn't trapped, it was frozen in ice. And all the soft tissues were what? Preserved. We are using the word preserved as fossil. Preserved means, Ben, fossil along with its bones and teeth. Preserved means just like saved, or you know when you press save on something and you want to keep it and see it later? This is similar thing. When you preserve an organism, you will have it the same even after million of year. So it was frozen in ice. After it was frozen in ice, it kept all the tissue, also the bones and teeth. The bones and teeth are all there. They did not compose. You know when living things dies, what do they turn to? Who
They turn
remembers?
to fossil.
No, not to fossils. Not all dead animals turns to fossil. There must be something happen to them to turn to fossil. For example, the insect. Now we are learning how they are turning to fossil. But the normal dying living things, what do they do? What do they turn to? They will become decomposed. Remember? Hi, Atala, do you remember? Living things when they die. Very good, Feroz.
Yes.
Living things when they die, what happens to them?
They get eaten by decomposers.
Or they become decomposers. They will be
Yeah.
decomposers. They will be analyzed and they will be
Eaten.
very small parts of decomposers, of decomposed particles. Yes. So fossils, they did not reach the stage to be decomposers because the way they died is really different. See? That the way they die, that's what makes them fossils and not decomposers. Okay? So living things, when they die, they determine what they will be then or what they will be later. So for this poor small mammoth, baby mammoth,
Oh,
what
so
happened to
cute.
it? Yes, what happened to it?
Its soft tissue were preserved
No,
along
it was what?
frozen in ice.
Yes, it was frozen in ice. After
So it
it,
was like
mm-hmm.
he was trapped in there and he didn't eat food and
Okay,
he froze from the cold. That's
yes.
I hear.
Also, the teeth and the bones are there. It did not decompose. It did not analyze. It did not broke into pieces. It's still there, and you can find it right now. Also, look at
Wait,
this.
why?
Hmm.
But I thought it was going to get eaten.
No, it will not. It is very hard to be eaten, and no one eats something instead,
Oh.
really. Yeah. Look at
Oh.
this one over here. What do you see?
It's like something was dead in there.
Hmm?
A
Who
bee?
can- A bee. Yes, it looks like a bee. Very good. So all living things contain the element of carbon. We call it carbon. Some plant tissue get preserved as carbon films in rock. See?
This is so cool.
Yes, it's such as it did not froze or trapped or kept there. You can't see everything. You only see the print of it. Why?
Yes.
Why? Because
Because
it contains what element? What do we call the element?
carbon.
Carbon. And carbon, the element carbon is black. The color of this element is black. That's why it was printed over here. Maybe it was crashed on this rock, or it died on this crash, on this rock. After a while or after a time, when it died on this rock, it analyzes and all the element went all the way to the rock, and all was what is left is the print of it.
Yes. Miss, but why it has the print from the carbon?
Sorry again.
Why does it have like this print from the black from the carbon? What like how
Because
did
all living
the
things, they
carbon do that?
contain, all living things, Yatala, they contain this element. We are
Even
made of,
us?
yes, even us. All living things. Are you a living thing?
Yes, I am.
If you are a living thing, so yes, are contained of carbon. You have carbon in your body. Some plant tissues, they get preserved as carbon films in rock. Not all, not only plants, even insects. They can be. It's just like a camera, okay, or just like, okay, let's say this a stamp. It looks like you stamped the rock with what? With which print? With this bee print. Also,
Yeah.
footprint
It's cool.
can be an example of what? Fossils. Footprint. How footprint are examples of fossils?
Because your foot is in there, like was in there, and then it
Yes.
has a trace of the foot that you stepped on.
Sometimes, yes, excellent. Very good, Tyler. Sometimes when you step on some type of soil, it will become very hard after it take the shape of your foot, and it will stay the same shape for long, long, long times. People long
Kind of like
time.
cement.
Yes, kind of cement. Very good. How did they learn about dinosaurs long time ago? Do you remember?
When they saw like
I know they saw fossils underground.
like they knew their shape.
Yes, yeah, Feroz. They saw fossils and
They
what?
saw they saw fossils underground, and oh my god, the camera keeps closing, and
And what else?
and also prints have
Footprint. Excellent. Of the dinosaurs. Very nice. Very
and
nice.
then
Very nice.
they took the shape and made a whole dinosaur with it, but like not real one, like with the fossil.
Yes. Okay. So after learning all about them, all about the most word we saw in each example is preserved. So the preserved remains or trace of living thing, what do we call it?
A fossil. Fossil.
Excellent. Please underline the definition of fossil.
Okay.
So it is the preserved remains or trace of living thing. Now take a look at this plant. It looks like mold. These mold and cast fossils were made when a leaf was pressed into soft mud. See, it was pressed, pushed down into soft mud, leaving a hollow
Sediment.
space called a mold. Over here, it looks like when you are making a candle or a wax. Is that right or not?
Not really. I don't
Yes.
know.
Have you ever
I
tried
haven't made.
to make a fist of waxing fist
No,
of your hand?
I have tried to put my finger and melted wax. Yeah, me too. I tried
Okay. And then
100 times. So
did it take the
satisfying.
shape of your hand or not, or of your finger or not?
it
No, yes, it took my shape of my finger, but it broke.
Okay,
So
but
I
it took
couldn't
the
really.
shape of your finger. So
Yeah.
this one looks the same process, but not really exactly. But the main
Yeah.
process, the main idea, it is the same. So once they put the leaf in a soft mud, what happened? It will leave a hollow space, and we call it a mold. Then a cast can form in the mold is later filled with mud that hardens. So later
Mhm.
was filled with mud that can be hardened and it took the shape of what? The leaf. This we call it cast. So what do we call it when it fills up with the shape?
Cast.
Yes, with the
Like the
leaf.
cast when you put it when your leg is broken, kind of thing.
Yes, excellent, excellent, excellent. Now I want you to figure out the fossil formation. You can see the fish number 1, 2, and 3 over here. Can you see 1, 2, and 3?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, Jenna, please read for me what is the first step of fossil
two. I want
formation.
Okay. An animal dies and settles on the bottom of a body of water.
Definitely. This is the first thing. When a fish dies, it will sit where? Down deep. At what? At the bottom of the
Water.
body water. If for example, maybe in ocean, maybe in lake, maybe even in your what do you call it, tongue. Yes, the second step, what happens over here, yeah, Jenna?
No, I know. The birth the animal. Over time, the soft parts of the animal
Decay. Now sediments, also sediments must have a say in fossils. Lovely look, ya Jude. I'm so happy to see you. Now, sediment. Sediments, what do they do, sediments? They buries animals.
Bury the
Remember,
animal.
you know what are
Okay.
sediments? Everyone knows what are
Yes.
sediments. Is
It's
that
a
right?
kind of rock that
Yes.
gets cemented together
Excellent.
by pressure.
And they will give pressure to this dying fish, and then they after a
A
long time.
while it takes the shape.
Excellent. So the third step, Yatalia, is
Hard parts are preserved in sediments as a fossil.
excellent. Okay, what did they need to be to be preserved in sediment? Who can tell
Pressure?
me? Yes, pressure. Excellent. They needed pressure to be cemented or preserved in the sediment as a fossil. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very good. Now let's take a look at fossils when they are burned. Do you think fossils can be burned?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so not all organisms are fossilized in rock. What else may happen to organism when they die?
Like they may die and then the what do you call it? Like the sand by the wind goes like this. I don't
Yes.
know. Like
Yes,
goes
you are
over
correct.
the
Okay.
animal or the fossil. And then like after years of this process, it would be buried.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, very good, Yatala. That's correct. The remain or the fossilized remains of the plants shows in this photo may give you a clue. Look at over here, this one. It is a remain of fossils. What happened to it?
It's like
Became coal.
black.
It became coal.
But
Fossils,
how?
yes. Now you are going to learn how coal
Cold form.
forms. Can you
Can I
see?
read?
Yes, fossils can turn to coals. How? Who can tell me? Remember we said
I know.
plants, they contain element. What do I call it, this element? Hi, Maria.
Carbon. Carbon.
Carbon. Excellent. Where is Maria today? Huh. Read the first
Here.
one, Yatala, and then the second one you will
Yes.
read,
Plants die and settle to the bottom of a body of water.
just like
They are
fishes.
buried by sediment.
Just like fishes, remember? Connect both of them together so you don't forget about them. So the same thing happens when the fossil was formed in the fish. Both of them, they settle to the bottom of the body of water and they buried by what? Sediment. But how
But
this fossil turned to coal, ya Maria? What happens next?
The temperature and pressure rise.
See, the first thing, the temperature and pressure. Over there, the fish was only pressure, having only pressure. Now, coal having temperature and pressure rise. Yes, please continue.
Much of the water in the remains is squeezed out. The remains change into peat. Peat doesn't give off a lot of heat. It produces a lot of smoke when it burns.
All right, so what really happens over here? Hmm. So the water, what happens to the water? It was squeezed out, kicked out. There is no water anymore after that. Huh. The remains change into what?
Peat.
Peat. What is peat?
It doesn't give off a lot of heat.
Excellent. And it produces a lot of what?
Smoke.
When it burns later, when it burns, it will give you a lot of smoke, but it will not give you heat. So what happens to this fossil? They got temperature. I'm going to write it down for you. It got temperature, pressure, and then water is out, squeezed out. Water, there's no longer water in them, and they change to peat. After that, you need to know about peat, that they give off they does not give off heat, but what they do, they have a lot of smoke when they burn. Now what happens, the third step here, Jenna, what happens later when they turn on to peat? This is the second thing. We know that they turned on to peat. What happens?
Heat continues to be compressed and heated over time. All of the water is gone. Coal forms. It is hard and made of pure carbon. Coal produces a lot of heat and little smoke.
Oh, so now finally they are what? When they are hard enough, what they make? Huh? What they make? What do they make?
Carbon.
Carbon, excellent. So this peat, it will be compressed and heated over what? They need what? They need time. All of the water now it's gone. There is no more water. What will be formed? Coal will be formed. And when it's very hard, they make carbon. Now coal produce a lot of heat and a little smoke, unlike peat. So when it's peat, in the peat stage, it is not coal. Now, what does it need to be coal, Yatala? Huh? What does it need to be coal? All the water must be gone, and then it has to
And
be
then hard, it coal forms and carbon, a pure
yes, it
carbon.
has to be pure of carbon. And finally, what do they produce, carbon?
Coal,
A lot of heat and a little of smoke. Who
smoke.
does not give off heat? Carbon or peat?
Peat,
Excellent. Peat will not give a lot of heat. It's only give a lot of smoke. You need to remember both of them. And this is how fossil fuels are formed. You know, now this is the piece of coal that is formed down here. Can you see the black coal down here? Can you see it or not? Guys, where did you go? Come on, come on, come on.
Here.
So can you see the black carbon down there?
Yes.
These are coal. Now, you know that people, they mine and they dig down deep, the desert, the oceans. Why? They try to find what? Fossil fuel. Why do we call them fossil fuel? Because they are made of what, ya Maria?
Coal. Coal.
Coal and peat, they were made of what? By fossils. They were made first place by fossils. We said the first thing over here, how they can form by plants when they die, or animals even when they die. Where do they sit? They sit down deep, and they will be cemented. After that, when they become fossils, they need high pressure and high temperature and compressed or squeezed, so all the water will go out away of it. And then later coal is formed from carbon and peat. When they are burned, we call it fossil fuel. So fossil fuel is an energy-rich resource formed from the buried remains of once living things organism. So coal formation is continuing in peat bogs found around the whole world. So please underline fossil fuel. What is fossil fuel? And who can tell me finally what did we took today? Open your cameras and tell me, please. We have 2 minutes to tell me. I want you 2 minutes to tell me what did we took today? What did we learn today?
We learned about fossils and
Excellent.
and
How did they form? Very nice, ya
how did they form.
Feroz. What
And
else?
also
Mhm.
like the prints, the footprints about like
Excellent. What
animals.
else over here, the second page? We learned about what?
We
Coal.
learned about
Oh,
coal
very
farm, how
nice.
coal farms.
Excellent, excellent,
How coal
very nice. And tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue about oil and natural gas and etc. Okay, girls, I hope you enjoyed this session. Do you have any question?
Nope.
Miss, I want to show you something.
Yes, Tina, please.
But this thing. This.
Nice, you have a fossil. It is trapped inside. Very nice. What is this? Is it insect, animal, or plant? What do you call it?
I think it's an insect.
Yes, it is an insect. Was it trapped or squeezed or what?
Was it a trap?
It is trapped inside and made a fossil. Excellent, nice, very lovely. I love it. Thank you, Atina, for showing it. Look at this example of fossil, girls. Can you see? It looks very cool. Thank you very much, Tina. Thank you. I really
We
appreciate it.
got this from Egypt.
Yes, I can see. It's an insect that lives there. Yes, yes. So that's why you got it from Egypt. Nice. Thank you very much, Tina, for participating with us. See you inshallah tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.